Hello and welcome to episode 335 of the Drive the Green podcast. I'm your host, MattyB, joined by Tamarack champion, Chris Canoop.
Chris.
And should I call you Brock or
Bronell works.
Oh, yeah,
there,
Bronell. Okay. And Bronell's here. Harv's back at the cabin for another week. Just another missed pod.
Yeah. But it's okay.
Yeah, we're allowed to miss. Everyone but me is allowed to miss. On this week's episode, Kade Johnson joins us for the second time. We talk about his recent success on PGA Tour Americas, how his season's been going, shoot the shit about a few other things. We're also going to talk about Keegan Bradley winning the BMW Championship and his Ryder Cup chances. Maybe went up. President's Cup even, yep. We're going to talk a lot about that. What else?
Lydia Ko won
the AIG Open. Yeah. Women's Open.
Labor Day's this week.
It's Labor Day week. Oh boy, it's a big week. We got Bronell thinks we have lots to do. The rest of us think we have very little to do. He's a known worrier.
Well, somebody's got to keep the troops kind of organized, right, and going. Like I got to get. That's my job. That's my main job in this pod.
That's a good point. Yeah.
People don't realize it feels like a well-oiled machine on the day of, but that's because we put in the work prior to. Yeah. That's what a good golf tournament is. Not running around with your hair on fire.
That's right.
Bingo. We got tons of good stuff this year, so can't wait for that. And
let's get into it.
Lots to talk about, but before we do, we want to thank our sponsors, Player Golf, PLYRGolf.com. Use the promo code DRIVETHEGREEN for 20% off your order. I think the only player talk is congratulations to the player himself, Chase Porter, on his nuptials this past weekend.
Oh, that's this week? Oh, okay.
He just got married.
Good for him.
So congrats to Chase.
Good.
If you didn't attend his wedding, but you still kind of want to get him a gift, use the promo code DRIVETHEGREEN for 20% off your order.
That's great.
Right?
I love that.
Right?
That's great. Yeah.
Help him. Congratulate him for his marriage by buying something from his company. I think that only makes sense.
Good idea.
So
you want me to do the rest of the ad reads, or are you good?
Multiple people said, don't let Bronell do that.
It was bad.
It was so
I listened to it on my drive back this morning.
You didn't.
I did.
He only listened to the intro. That's probably.
I had to shut it off. It was that bad.
I know. I'm thinking most people did.
Yeah, numbers were way down. We're also members of Team Callaway. It's more and more videos are coming out. I thought I saw hole-in-one trick shots. He debuted the new driver, the camo driver. What can I think of the name of it?
I can't remember what it is. The Combat something, wasn't it? Yeah.
But man, does that thing look good? Lots of TI fusions in people's hands.
Those black ones.
Boy. Yeah, like
fuck.
I know we're gonna get to my week, but the Callaways were pretty fucking good this week.
So it's a thing. They are the best. So get yourself. It's never too late to reach out to your local rep to get yourself a fitting so that you can get them in time for next year, or maybe in the indoor season. Maybe you go down south and you want to have a set for end of season. Iron out the kinks while you're down south. Hit up your local Callaway rep. We're also proudly sponsored by Churchill. Mowers are back. Mowers are great. I had several of them this week. Canoop had one after his victory.
That's
Took a picture. Was very nice of you to do that so we could post it on our story. The perfect celebratory drink, some would say.
It was.
That was the best thing you did all week, was took a picture with Churchill in your hand. It was the best thing you did all week.
Celebrating the tournament championship, celebrating cutting your lawn, celebrating a big dump.
Yeah.
Like anything. Just celebrate all the time with a mower.
I haven't had a dump beer in a while.
Oh, what? Right during? I meant like
I
after.
thought you mean like a shower beer or grass cutting beer.
Shower more.
Yeah. Dump more.
Mower dump.
Mower dump.
And last but not least, we're also sponsored by Mecklenburg Financial Group. Rich is coming down to play the Labor Day. Spoiler: his partner might be the guy on the pod this week. We'll get into that in the interview. We'll see if he's going to make it down. But yeah, we've talked to Rich this past week. Can't tell you on the pod, but you might want to contact Mecklenburg to get in on the next things they got coming down the pipe.
So
I've talked about this private equity stuff in the past, but not allowed to talk about it yet. But it might be worth, reaching out just to start to get your things aligned.
Hey, well, I got a little bit extra money now from that Calcutta win.
I was
so
just going to ask.
maybe
is
those
that what
three-
you guys are going to do with
maybe
your
my
money?
3
or-
bills might go a little ways.
It might be a little less than that. But
I ain't tipping you.
I already got my tip, buddy.
So I was actually thinking about this since we're on the topic of money and Canoop. We all bought into Canoop in the Calcutta, and he wins. I was thinking about that after. You give me the money, I'll give you the tip. But then I was actually thinking about after. This guy's 100% skimming whatever he gives us.
Yeah,
He's not even giving us the option.
No, I talked to Jason. I talked to Jason about it today. He's just going to bring cash on Saturday, and he's just going to hand it out to you guys. I'm not even going to touch it.
Okay.
It's just going straight from him to you guys.
That is a fair thing to do.
That's right.
And then it's going straight from him to us
To Mecklenburg.
to Rich
yeah, perfect.
at Mecklenburg
Yeah.
Financial Group.
One transaction.
Whether he
all-
wants to put it into, an investment, or maybe he's going to put it towards producing your will for you, Brono.
Right. Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, Canoop won you a will.
Yeah.
That's just an unbelievable turn of events.
You're welcome.
I had also had several people that continued to listen to last week's show reach out and say, I almost crashed my car when Bronell said I thought I needed a will at 3 a.m. last Saturday. Oh, it's good.
That's
so
the closest to death I've been in a while.
yeah, so if you need to get your finances in order, you need to you own a business, like I've said before, group plans, life insurance, you name it, reach out to Mecklenburg Financial Group. They will help you out. But again, alternative investments. All right, let's get into this week's show. Canoop can go last in his celebratory.
I'll go first.
You go first. I'll go second.
Yeah, not much going on. Summer's over. Like, was that the fastest summer of all time?
It went by very quickly.
Has to
Do you
be.
think every summer
It's
is
faster.
always the newest one?
Yeah,
the
new-
fastest
the new
one.
fastest.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah, it is
like Labor Day's
wild.
this week. It makes no sense.
I got to go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah,
Same.
It's messed
Work
up.
at the same place.
same for this. Yeah, every day.
every week.
I will say it is kind of weird, like when you get into a mode where you have like a teacher or something like that, and you have those holidays, you kind of forget at times that people still go to work during those months.
Oh yeah, big time.
But then they get holidays and they just get to like stop. Like me with the going from one business to the other. Like I'm always, my brain's
Yeah, you
always
don't even-
working. It's starting to get a little annoying.
Well, good
Would
thing
be-
I'm your secretary for all things Drive the Green on Labor Day.
Yes, thank you for that.
Not much. I played 2 partial rounds this week. Men's night got rained out. Bit of a bad break there. Wasn't playing too bad. And then today just played 9 because it was slow, and I don't know, just wasn't feeling it.
Yep.
I don't know.
It is funny because you said my round got it took us 2 hours to play 9 holes, so we left because it was
Yeah.
slow, and that's like just normal pace.
I know, but it depends on who's in front of you and whether you can bear it or not,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
Yep.
Right.
There's and if you're playing, you only had 2 and a kid, right?
Yeah.
So that's
And my
also,
kid
you're
was being a little bit
waiting
of a
way
shit.
more.
Yeah.
That hurts.
I didn't play too bad. I said on 7T, if I hit this cut 4 iron down to the bottom, I might be back, and I did it. But then I tripled 8, so
And quit on 9.
That's just an unlucky break on 8.
yeah. Well, it was a poor tee shot, but I think that's it. I'll let the man have his
he gets his
week
day.
here.
Yeah.
Churchill boost count 14 this week, so ended up having.
Really light.
Well, it's not light though. Like,
Yeah.
2 zeros in there, but then you got a 5 and a couple 3s, and it just adds up.
It sure does.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I'll get into
summertime.
adding it up.
It's summer.
Yep.
582 and 239. Creeping up to 6 bills.
Good.
You must have had a few this week though.
Oh, I'm just double checking my algo here, and Hillcrest Golf Club just posted. Congrats to all of our members out there winning tournaments, and you're listed first, Canoop.
Oh,
Why would
nice.
he be on there?
I like that.
I love it. Okay, my week. I did not play a round of golf this past week because we're in the middle of my ball team playoffs. So we're playing best of 3s right now. So when every series you're playing goes to 3 games, doesn't give a whole lot of, and then you have pod one other night, and just not a lot of time for golf this past
Your
week.
game 3 is tomorrow night?
No, we won second round on Friday.
Oh.
So game 1 of the final is tomorrow.
Oh, that's why we're doing this on Sunday.
Yeah, so it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So not only the previous 2 series were Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So I thought, well, that's no good because game 3 will be Labor Day skins. But now Wednesday's men's night, so I got to miss men's night again. So I'm gonna have to find a morning round because I can't go 2 weeks dry and just go into that skins game on Friday.
Sure you
So
can.
I'm gonna try to find a morning round.
Yeah.
Going to work at 8, right, Canute? I don't think we have to be there at a certain time.
No, I was just gonna say we should go play Thursday morning, but that's when the students get there, so that's probably not gonna
Yeah,
work.
maybe Wednesday morning sounds right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no golf. Just a little piece of the dog update. So I did get a dog last week. We picked it up the day of the pod. So a week into this new dog, seems okay.
You said it didn't bark last week.
I know.
It barked 1 second ago.
Immediately.
Yes,
as soon
yeah.
as we got in, yeah.
So it's only barked 4 or 5 times, and it's typically when men come into the house. So I don't know. We don't know the backstory from this dog, but does not love men, especially men carrying things. So anytime I come home, like this dog's seen me for 6 days now. Anytime I'm away and I come home at night and it doesn't recognize me right away, it pees on the floor. So it's terrified of
sick.
men.
Well,
Sounds
maybe
very
pet it.
familiar.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
Very
pet it one
familiar.
time.
Oh, I was giving it snuggles. I took it for a bath today. Washed it up good. It was terrified of that because I was soaking it down and then blowing it with an air dryer at the car wash. So it probably doesn't love me for that, but it'll warm up. It's getting better every day. So, but it sleeps awesome. Like in the kennel, does not whine. So
Why
you
in the
get all
kennel?
that puppy stuff out of the way.
Why in the kennel?
Well, we let our last dog stop sleeping out of the kennel when it was like 5. But then 5 through 14, it could do whatever the hell it wanted. Like never went in the kennel. You got to kennel train it, get it, know who's boss, and then worry about letting it free in your house.
Should be on your bed already.
No. Dogs on bed is not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Never.
It's the best.
So yeah, no golf, dog update, baseball playoffs. I do have one story to tell. So I don't know if I talked about it on the show last week, but my tooth's been bothering me. I had to go getting a crown on one of my molars, and so I had to get a crown apparently because the filling that I had in there was so big they didn't want to put another big filling in there, like because it's a back tooth. So like we're gonna put a crown on it. Okay, so go get the temporary crown, and it was killing like nonstop. I'm like, they said it was gonna be sensitive, not this sensitive. So whatever. Okay. He goes and he's like, yeah, we got to get you in here. My appointment was supposed to be this upcoming Wednesday. My dentist drove to the lab in Regina, picked it up on Thursday for first thing Friday morning. He was going to put it in. And he's like, this should fix it because those temporary crowns are very sensitive. He's like, but if it persists, we might have to give you a root canal. And then he's like, but don't worry, they're fine. They're better now than they were in the past. We're way better at them. Oh, okay. Anyway, so today it doesn't feel great, so I probably need a root canal, but that's not the story. So puts it in. Because it's so sensitive, they freeze it. So I'm frozen on Friday, leave the dentist, mouth's frozen. About, I don't know, an hour and a half later, I'm like, okay, well, freezing's starting to come out a little bit, but it's still frozen. So I'm going to eat a granola bar, and I'm just going to fire some food because I've been eating on the left side of my mouth for 2 weeks. So I'm going to try on the right side, see if it hurts. So I'm chewing. I'm like, this granola bar tastes like mint. Turns out my frozen side of my mouth had a Zin in it, and I was just chewing it up. So I ate a Zin. So I had a minty granola bar. Tastes awesome, by the way.
Mint
But
chocolate
then
chip.
the immediate go-to is Google. Can I eat a Zin? And apparently it's no worse than swallowing gum.
Oh, it's
So,
no worse than McDonald's. I guarantee McDonald's is worse than that.
Yeah. So now I'm on. Speaking of mower dumps, I'm on look back dumps just to see if I digested it or not. But yeah, it was something. So if you're in the market, if you are a granola bar producer, just fire like a mint peanut harvest granola bar. That would be that'd be a big seller. Like I was just like halfway through, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this granola bar? And I'm like, oh.
Who the hell
forgot to-
picks a granola bar to eat when your tooth's sore?
Well, I just have
what a weird thing to pick.
because I was at work and I buy boxes of granola bars and just fire them in my truck door because that's the only thing I eat all day. So that's all I had.
I'd be eating
So-
like a banana or something.
Yeah,
but soft isn't giving it. I wanted to give it a test to see if it was something crunchy, a little more chewy, just to see if it worked, if the cement took. But yeah, my tooth still hurts. I had, and then last night we had my kids' ball wind up, so the kids had a wiffle ball game in our backyard and slip and slide for 4 hours. The hose was just on the slip and slide for 4 hours.
I noticed your grass is a little matted down there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's coming back, but I didn't think kids, but 12, 10-year-olds could slip and slide for 6 hours. Like the slide itself was on for about 4 because we put it between third and home, so they had to slide into home in the wiffle ball game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was fun. They had lots of fun, but my grass might be wrecked. If only I knew a landscape guy to fix it. A good one, anyway.
Yeah.
I had 18 drinks this week. So just like smatterings of
gaining on me every day, just like
post-game beers.
Fantasy baseball gains on me every day.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Post-game beers every game 3 times, and then the wind-up. So added up a little bit, couple on the pod tonight. So 658 on the air.
Crazy. 658.
You might be on pace for 1,000.
But the funny thing is 658 seems like a lot, but that is just under 1,000 pace, right? Because we're
that's a lot. Yeah.
2/3 of the way there, and I'm under 666. So
yep.
All right, Canoe. Let's go, champ. Let's talk about the Tamarack.
All right. Do you want me to recap some stuff, or do you
Course
guys just want to ask me some
field was
questions,
easy.
or what do you
else?
want to do?
You know what? I'm not super interested in it.
All right,
so
perfect. I'll just tell a little bit. So my in-laws ended up selling their cottage last year, so we didn't have a place to stay up at Clear Lake this year. But they bought a trailer, so we went and actually ended up camping in Minnedosa. So we were about 30 minutes away. If any of you guys are in kind of rural Manitoba, that place is great. They've got everything you need out there, a bunch of things for the kids to do, the bouncy castle thing in the water.
Mm-hmm. Did they do that?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. So I would highly recommend that if you guys are going out in that area. Clear Lake, like the town itself, has a few more things to do, but less, I guess, young kid friendly. So Minnedosa was great. It was awesome.
Minnedosa used to be on the radio in Regina all the time.
Oh, really?
Come out to Minnedosa, Manitoba. Like they just promoted it very well. So I always thought it was good.
Yeah, it was solid.
I recognize the name anyway.
That might be the plan for us next year.
Well, you got to go defend now.
So. Yeah, we'll see.
I got to go to Clear Lake. I got to see I got to see the difference between that course and Waskesiu, because I have in my head they're the exact same course.
They're not.
And these guys just argue all day.
Yeah, so we have to take Harv with us when we go.
So the 4 of us should go and play.
Yeah,
next year.
Yeah, we should. We can play Oak Island on the way back.
We'll play in 2 separate groups. We'll play in 2 groups. Me and you will play with 2 other strangers, and they'll play together. So we don't have to listen to them argue about it the whole time. We just enjoy and have a neutral.
Probably a really good idea.
Yeah.
So qualifying was Saturday, Sunday, shot 70 and 72. I think that ended up getting me in. I think it was tied for 3rd place. But my main, I guess, goal coming in was to not be paired against Evan, the number 1 seed, because he had, I don't know how many birdies he had made
on the opposite side of the draw.
So not have to play him until the final if I made it that far.
Yep.
Draw kind of fell out like I was hoping it to. And then ended up playing friend of the pod Boomer on Tuesday.
Yep.
Took me to 18. Ended up winning 2 up, I think is what we ended up being.
Yep.
Really good match. He played really solid, and I think I ended up making 6 birdies that day, and I made 2 bogeys. Ended up going to 17 in my next match, then 13 in my next one, and then obviously yesterday was our final, and it wasn't looking good for us to be able to even play. Really big storm came through within the night. Woke up in the morning, and there was supposed to be another big one in the afternoon, and ended up missing us. So got to play. Otherwise, we would have had to play today, unfortunately, and that would have just sucked to have to play and then come back and go to work. But final was good. It was it was a lot of fun. Just mentally exhausted, truthfully. Trying to just be in every single shot and think about what you need to do and grinding over every 4, 6, 8 footer. And it was a really, really good week. So
Yeah, I think that's the big difference between solo match play and like two-man
Yeah.
scramble.
big time.
Your two-man scramble, you're kind of grinding, but not personally
That's
grinding
right.
over everything. You're just more upset if your partner misses, and then you got to make
Yeah.
that type of thing. Whereas
Yeah.
this is all on you all the time. It's got to
Yeah.
be exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, after 2 matches, you got to be exhausted, and then it only gets more and more pressurized.
And I think that's the nice thing. I know we talk in some of our groups about lobstick and tamarack, right? They're kind of completely different. Where tamarack, they get all of the different categories going at the same time, right? They have a women's scramble, they have a junior event, they have a men's scramble.
That's
they
why
have
there's
all of
days
this.
off, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was nice to do a qualifying. You get a day off to relax, hang out, go watch your kids or whatever, play a match, and you get a day off again. And then we were 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So that 3 in a row is taxing, right? It's a lot of golf. But yeah.
Well, it is. I think of those trips, those tournaments, as really exactly what you guys do, right? It's a family week. Like, that's your family holiday. So it's like, how do you go to a tournament and play 5 rounds or 6 rounds in a week? Well, because your family's there and you get those days off, you get late days, and you're only out there for 4 hours. So you can be with family in the morning or in the afternoon. So it is a holiday.
Yeah.
And I think those are the best types of tournaments. Like, you couldn't have that type of tournament in a city. You have to have it at a park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because like
Well,
no
there's more
one's
things
driving
to
to.
do.
Yeah.
You're not coming to Moose Jaw or Regina.
Yeah.
To stay there for a
That's
week.
right. Exactly.
So you got, the big break with the draw, with Evan, not playing Evan. Big break with the weather. You got to play. What was your plus minus breaks on the course?
So you did
like bad breaks would be a minus and good breaks would be a plus. Like we're talking like 30, 40
I didn't.
for the week.
I don't think
You're
it's
usually a 5 to
I
10
don't even
guy.
think it's a handful.
Oh,
I don't even think it's a handful, to be honest.
You did gloss over the match on 13. I don't want to shine a light on that to the guy that you killed, but you were 6 under through 13. Like, that's pretty good. So
I made every single putt I looked at that day for birdie.
So you
It
were
was
what?
nuts.
4. Your matches other than that one went all to 18 or 17. So you were like 4 under, probably 5 under, 6 under, 5 under, something like that. Like, you played.
Yeah.
Very good
I shot
golf.
70 on that Tuesday match, so my first one. I made 6 birdies, but I had made 2 bogeys as well. Or sorry,
Sounds
I
like
made
you're
4. I
That's
made 4
68.
birdies and 2 bogeys.
Oh,
sorry.
that makes more sense. Oh, yeah.
So I ended up playing 102 holes throughout the entire week. Take a guess how many birdies I made.
102 holes?
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, it's 20 plus.
27. I made
27,
6 bogeys and a double. I wasn't down in a match the entire week,
Nice.
which was insane.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
I didn't make a bogey. Tuesday was the last time I made a bogey. I didn't make one Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
And how many times you played in this tournament now?
I think this is 8 or 9.
Yeah, so
Well, there's no
finally get
trouble
one.
out there. Like,
No
there's no trouble, so it's not that hard. And you're
We gotta
Okay,
play
you
it.
can't just repeat Harv's.
well, he's not here. I gotta do something.
Someone can't let you get away with it.
Yeah.
Getting
away with it.
So go back to the breaks. I'll say I probably got one on 16. So 16, I'm 1 up at this point.
He missed that short eagle putt.
That's exactly what
I
I'm talking.
heard.
Yeah. So 16, it's like a 270 par 4, a little downwind or a little downhill. Sorry. I hadn't played that hole very well all week for whatever reason. It's kind of guarded by one big bunker on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side. Ended up hitting it left. I knew I had cleared the bunker because I had hit it hard. So he goes second. He hits it. We get in our cart, start driving up. It's like, that's going to be on the green. As we're kind of cresting the hill to come down, all I hear is yelling. So I was like, oh my God, did that fucking go in? So we crest the hill. I see it. It looks like it's 2 feet. I was like, oh, great. I got to try to chip this in or hit it in from the bunker, whatever. We get up there. It looks a little further and further as we get closer. So it ended up probably being 6-7 feet. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I got to try to make this because he's probably going to make it. Ended up hitting a really good chip, kind of just misses the hole on the high side, ends up stopping about 4.5 feet. He proceeds to miss, and then I don't want to say hit a bad putt, but hit it a little bit too hard, and it ended up kind of just lipping in, and that was a big break for us because we have that short downhill par 3 as the next hole. We both made 3s, and then 18 just made par and kind of ran him out of holes. So
What did you you guys have for putts on 18? Were you both on in regulation?
I had 22 feet just above the hole, and he had 40. He had a good shot in there, and it just kind of skipped and then rolled down the hill because it's a 9 and 18 there are very, very funky greens. Like Stanley Thompson is kind of known for all of his green architecture.
Same course as Waska.
Yeah, same idea.
Same thing.
But those 2 holes are extreme, I would say. So you ended up hitting it and rolled out all the way down the hill. So he probably had 40 feet straight up the hill, and I think it was dead center, but it ended up coming up about a foot short. So
Nice.
The break,
Yeah. You can't go too far Harv though. Like
No,
you can be hard,
no.
but don't be hard.
No, I'm saying that those courses are the same. Harv would be here saying Waskasoo's a million times better because it's in the top 100 on
Right.
Score Golf's
but
rankings or whatever.
I found out this week that they just pay more money. So it's all good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was your whole week. How
Holy.
many beers?
That was pretty much my week. Just 29 on the week.
okay.
He's
I
up
guess
there.
2 weeks.
Man.
It gives me 601 on the year.
Got it. Got there.
So
It's only 57 back. It's doable. Yeah, so no algorithm for me this week. Was on my phone a little bit, not much. So
I was not on mine whatsoever.
all right, we'll talk about the PGA Tour, then we'll do the Kade interview, a little bit in smattering of news after.
Sure.
We can maybe blend news throughout and then end with Kade. That probably works. We don't have a ton of news.
We're not doing picks today because Harv's not here, and
Yeah,
we
so
gotta
let's
figure out
talk
what we're
about.
doing.
We'll talk about the BMW, which will also have the Ryder Cup stuff in it because that's in news. We'll just go around the
President's Cup
world President's Cup. We'll go around the world in there, and then we'll get to Kade, and that'll
Sure.
be it for the show.
Love it.
So yeah, Keegan Bradley takes advantage of maybe Adam Scott's not his best day out there, but I mean Keegan Bradley, you saw that graphic. He's won 3 times in the past year, and there's 5 guys on that list that made the Ryder Cup last year. That have
JT,
total of
Morikawa,
Ricky,
Spieth.
JT, Spieth, Cantlay, and Morikawa. Yeah,
2 total,
combined 2.
and he's
combined.
got 3.
Yeah.
So he's not a guaranteed pick for President's Cup though.
He was, I think it was 7th or 8th in the standings when
Yeah.
I saw
So
it
he's
today.
in.
He's in right now, or sorry, he's not in right now.
Yeah.
He would have to be a captain's pick.
Yeah,
But
but
we're but he's right
We're just
there.
gonna take him. You'd think.
They have to,
Yeah.
I think, especially being the next Ryder Cup captain.
Yeah.
I think that
Not
he
weird.
ends up being.
Where's
One.
international?
Oh right, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Weir's not
Yeah,
gonna
why are we
take
talking about the states? Who cares? We're talking about the international team.
Yeah.
All the Canadians that need to get picked for
Yes.
for captain's picks. My bad.
Yeah. So, but Keegan, for a guy that's getting up there, he is steady Eddie, and it's just like every time I bet you he wins. This is his first win since missing the Ryder Cup team, but that's just got to feel so good. Like not only is he playing in the BMW top 50, but now he's winning. He's going East Lake.
And he owes Tom Kim. If you saw Monday Q's tweet,
Yeah.
Tom Kim stunk at the end of last week. He finished bogey double.
Right.
And fell to
'Cause of the
51st.
blowout.
because
Yeah.
Bradley
Fell
was
out.
50.
Bradley got in at 50 and then wins this week and then probably makes the President's Cup.
Like that is the craziest thing to think that
That's
the
golf,
last guy in the field
Yeah.
wins the tournament.
So I had read today. I think one of you guys posted in there as well. As a 38-year-old, he is the oldest person in the top 30, which is crazy to think because
Yeah.
you think like golfing, most of them are going to be in their mid to late 30s, and he's the oldest one, which is kind of nuts.
But I think
And we're all that old.
Yeah, he's an 86.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's equally hilarious to think
Yeah,
that he's the
I know.
old guy and he's the same age.
we're fucking ancient, I guess.
Yeah, we don't look it though. He
No,
looks way
no,
older than us, right?
That's right.
Line us up.
But you mentioned Scott. He didn't have a very good Saturday either.
Yeah, Saturday was not
Saturday
great.
not very good. Today not very good, and I needed him for picks. But yeah. Did you guys watch any of it today?
Yeah, I watched some. Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of it only because obviously you have chores to do right now. I mean, like this is the playoffs. Like you got to be watching it, and so I have it on all the time. I'm like just flying in and out, just trying to watch 5 or 6 or 8 consecutive shots just to get a feel for it. But I mean, the phone's always going. It's just like Sam Burns almost got there today.
Yeah.
He posted
That's
11.
the most unfortunate part about camping is not having cable.
Yeah,
I didn't get to watch a single shot at all this week. So
yeah, you're a little bit distracted with that, but yeah, I mean, Keegan and Adam both were even par today, so can't really. And Adam's stinker was yesterday that kind of took him back to the field, but
the scoring was out there though.
Well,
you had Sam Burns shoot 7 under today.
Cam Davis was 6 under.
Yeah, like the scoring conditions were there, and they just didn't have it.
And
today.
Scott and Aberg too was 1 under both days on the weekend, and he looked like he was gonna fucking run away with it too.
Yeah,
like at the end of the tournament when you see 12 under and 3 at 11, you think it was, high action, but it really did. Every time I was in there, it was like no one was really putting the pedal down or making a run because Burns was so early, posting 11. And I think didn't Keegan? Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he bogey 18 when he had a 2-shot lead? Yeah, he did. Yeah. So
you guys see Aberg's nose pick?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
that's how he got the bloody nose for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but that towel.
Yeah,
like
it was like covered in mud, and then he's wiping his nose
dirtiest
on it.
thing ever. Like, was it wet out there this week?
Well, I just find it hilarious. It looked like the caddy did not wash that towel the entire week, and he's just wiping his nose
with it. Like,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that reminds me of
when you're dirty, you're dirty.
That's right.
That one there was a provincial tournament in Melville when I was in high school, and they're always in
what sport?
Golf.
Okay.
They're always in like September or October because that's when school starts or whatever, right? So, and it was like -1 outside, and I got this fucking bleeding cuticle on my finger, and it would not stop, and it bled like for the entire round, and I was just like dabbing it with my towel all around, shot like 88 or whatever. Fuck out of here. It was snowing. It was snowing out, and I had a bleeding cuticle, and I was like, this is just the worst ever. I almost quit golf forever. Should have.
I was just going to say.
That's
heartache.
You think you can trace that back to all your mental problems?
Yeah, maybe. That's what it is, yeah.
But that actually just reminds me of situational things and how they can change like your mindset, because I said he doesn't care. His nose is bloody, so he's got a dirty towel. He's in the heat of the moment. He's just wiping it off. He doesn't care. Yeah. That reminds me of like washing your hands when you eat. I'm not saying bathroom related, but like let's say you're working in like the dirt or something at your house. Mm-hmm. Well, you have access to wash your hands before you eat, so you'll go in and you wash your hands. Your hands are all filthy. But if you're out in the field working or something like that, you're like, oh, I don't have anything to wash my hands. Okay, well, I'm just going to eat a sandwich with these completely muddy hands.
Yes.
And, like, not even bat an eye. But if your wife brings you a sandwich outside while you're working in the yard, it's like, I'll just go in and wash my hands before I eat.
Yeah.
It's, like, all situational. Like, he's like, well, I'm not going to get toilet paper or anything like that. I'll take this dirty towel.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how that just you're in the heat of the moment and you don't really care. So
and like Hideki Matsuyama didn't really care either. Just said, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Just withdrew.
Yeah.
In next
That's
week, I don't
just
give
a
a
classic Hideki move, though.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I should have given him to you this week. It didn't matter, but talk.
Yeah, let's see. I'm just pulling up who's in, who's out.
Pendrith's in. That's the only Canadian that made it.
Pendrith is in, yep. And my phone is not pulling it up here.
Not working?
Nope. Moving in is Bradley, Scott, Fleetwood, and Kirk. They were all kind of...
Bradley's fourth now.
Yeah. Bradley's fourth. Scott moved from 41 to 14. Fleetwood was 31, and Kirk was 32. So them moving up isn't crazy, but Harmon, Day, Davis Thompson, and Denny McCarthy are out.
JT just made it, too.
Just made it.
And I look back on or think about his year. Like,
Where was he good?
It's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know where he was good.
But
Brian Harman doubled 18 to move from 29 to 31 to get JT in.
oh, really?
Double. He's on the number, and then he doubles 18.
He was good early. He was T3 at the Amex, T6 at Pebble, T12 at Phoenix, T12 at Arnold, T5 at RBC Heritage, T8 at PGA, T5 at Travelers.
I guess that helps. Yeah. But I guess I don't look at his name at all, really.
U.S. Open missed the cut. Masters cut. The Open 31st. Not a great year. Players missed the cut.
Yeah.
Like, that's a brutal year. He just showed up in the lesser events.
Yeah. But the argument could be said, at least he's going to those.
Yeah.
That's why you get those as many tournaments.
But that's because he won a tournament 2 fucking years ago.
Yeah, but don't rest on just because you're good, you're going to win those elevated events. You got to go to some of those other ones and so to speak, beat the weaker fields.
Billy Horschel also made the top 30. Did you guys see his comments this week about he was more nervous last Sunday at the FedEx St. Jude than he was at the Open Championship trying to win a major.
Every time he talks, I just don't
Get
know.
dumber?
Yes. Like, it's outrageous. Like, I get that you're nervous and you want to keep playing for your season, but you guys are all playing for a major, and you're going to say that you weren't as nervous just to keep your card? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
No. No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He has enough money that it doesn't matter. He's not playing for money. He's
That's
not.
right.
He's not.
He's already won this thing.
Some
anyway.
new guy that's just on tour now, right?
Like, he's won the FedEx Cup, so
Yeah.
you would think that you would have more emphasis on a major,
Exactly.
in my mind. But
Yep, completely agree. Do you guys want to let's just talk about one of the news items that came out of this week, and that was Matthew Fitzpatrick not being able to swap out his driver because it wasn't broken enough.
Well, we talk about with Cade, but
Yeah, we do. What are your thoughts on? We didn't talk about it with Cade too much. What do you guys think about that? Scotty Scheffler came out and was very adamant about it too.
I didn't know that they were that, I guess, sticky on that rule. Like, I thought it was, okay, well, it's broken, you can switch it, right?
it has
Like,
to be caved in, they said, or something.
yeah, it was not broken enough. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's like
Why?
I could take
why
care of
have-
that for you.
Yeah, but I guess you get to the point where, well, it's chipped, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean that it's broken then?
Yeah.
Right on the back side of it, I don't know. Maybe it's like the divot rule, right? I don't know.
It must be. I would really like to replace that wedge that I hit the rock with, but I can't. Don't have any other wedges. Do you guys have any other
some of the
signals?
rules though on tour? Oh man,
Yeah, we've talked about.
they
those
might need
plenty.
to go through all of them and just kind of have a look here.
You think they could just
Simpler.
they could probably just rip out a bunch of pages.
Yeah, rip them out,
No record of it.
burn them.
Yeah. Your driver's broken? Okay, good. Yeah, you're fine. Oh, there's a building in your way? Don't hit it there.
You have 2 heads in your locker. Yeah, it's fine. Just go get a new one. Like, fuck, who cares? Like, what harm is it? How is that
I'm guessing
unfair to the other players if he
I'm
goes and
guessing
gets a new
people
head?
are going to, I guess, start pretending that something's broken, and I don't
get
know.
a new face for what?
Who knows? Who knows?
They probably just,
Just
you
looking for
just
some
put the face
unfair
on
advantage. Who knows?
5 holes ago.
Yeah, 'cause
like a
that-
hockey player
I
that
don't know.
uses a new stick every period, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like how
is there
often
any,
do those guys go through faces? Do you think?
I think more than you think that they do.
Oh, I know they do.
but what are the odds that their backup is not the identical one? Like, it's got to be,
It's
right?
got to be. Yeah, they
I
are.
would think it would be
It's the same as a hockey player's stick.
exactly.
Take
Yes.
the exact same height, everything. They're the exact same.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is maybe if they don't have that rule, guys would have slightly different ones.
Yep.
So like, oh, this is broken, knowing that you're going to the back nine that has you
Yes.
need a different
Yep.
setup on your driver or something like that, or
That's
a
right.
different one, so you start breaking them just to get a new one for
But
the
you
back
can't
nine.
break it. If you break it on your own, like on purpose, like you slam it, you don't get to replace it. It's got to be.
Good point.
Yeah, but maybe
Oh boy,
they
here
end
we
up
go.
doing some like, I don't know, weird
Maybe they got a ball in their bag that's a rock.
something.
Just hit
Or the caddy's
and then
got it. Just
there's just a
banging at it.
special there's a special spot you hit on it and then it breaks it.
Yeah,
Like
or
a
the
secret
caddy.
spot, yeah.
Or the caddy can.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's just
Because
got
he
like
could
a tool.
break it and put the head cover on, and then you hit it one more time. Fuck, it's broken now.
He's
He
carrying
could
it
break
down.
it with the head cover on.
Yes, exactly.
Good point. I think we solved it. Keep
Yeah.
that
Keep the
page in
rule.
the rule book.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Let's get to Kade, and then maybe we'll throw in a couple
Kade
news
right
items
now?
at the end. Yeah.
And then news items at the end.
Well, we got to talk LPGA and
Sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Kade Johnson joins us for the second time, fresh off his successful couple weeks on the PGA Tour Americas, where we had a good chat with him. So we're gonna kick it over to that interview, and we'll be back after for news and no picks this week. They'll be posted afterwards. Enjoy, Kade. MattyB with Drive the Green. I'm here with Knoop and Bronell, and this week on the show we have for the second time the man with the competitive course record at Elk Ridge, fresh off his 62 at the Saskatchewan Open, Mr. Kade Johnson. Thanks for joining us again, bud.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So yeah, well, I guess you're coming off a whirlwind of the last few weeks here. You were in obviously in Saskatchewan up at Elk Ridge 2 weeks ago, and then this past week you were, where was it, Manitoba?
Yeah, in Winnipeg.
Yeah, and then you had plans of heading down to Minnesota for this week's tournament, but a little bit of a ding has derailed your week. So tell us how it's going this week for you. What's next, and kind of give us your Cliff's Notes version of your past season.
Sure, yeah. It got off to a rough start. I was out for just over a month of not being able to play at all with an injury. So got through that, and I was just trying to play as much as I can. So played Mickelson Invitational in Calgary, and had a decent week there. And then played Dakota's tour, and then Ryan gave me a call to come play Saskatchewan Open for America's tour, and I was just hoping to go there and have a lot of fun and enjoy the week, and ended up being a pretty good week for me. Played well, just didn't have a great weekend, so finished that, and then drove that night all the way to Winnipeg, and played the Monday qualifier the next day. Luckily got through, and played last week in Winnipeg, and was happy to make the cut again. So it's been an interesting year so far, but I'm happy with the last month or so of golf for sure.
Yeah. So do you have anything else planned? I know you're kind of dealing with a little bit of an injury at the moment, but is there any plans to work through that and try to get any last tournaments of the year? Or are they all done now for you?
No, so I'll take a little bit of time off here, and then since I made the cut on Americas, I got through pre-qualifying of Corn Ferry Q School. So play stage 1 of Corn Ferry Q School, and I think they run second or third week of October, depends on what site you get. So that'll be the main goal. I'm hoping to play before that on some mini tour, but it's all going to depend what site I get for Q School. Try to get some competitive reps in before that. But right now, kind of focusing on the time off and getting the body ready for hopefully 3 stages of Q School.
Right on.
I was going to ask you that Monday Q last week in Winnipeg. Was it at the same course that the tournament was at?
No, it was at a course called Quarry Oaks. It was in Steinbach, and I didn't realize. I honestly didn't even look at where the course was. I signed up for it. I had no idea where it was, and because I was just hoping if you top 25 the week before, you get into the next week's tournament. And I didn't play good the last day, so I didn't get through. And then it was in Steinbach, which was I think 40 minutes past Winnipeg or something. And like my really good buddy Roman Terman was playing a practice round there, and all he told me was that it's really quirky, and like you gotta just use 18 birdies and figure out where to hit shots out there. And then I got there and I saw Josh Nagy's from Saskatoon just turned pro, and he's like, yeah, you got to go buy a yardage book in the pro shop because this place is like crazy. So I had no idea what to expect. So it was not at the same course, and it was very quirky. I think I was 1 under through 3, and then hole 4 hit a tee shot, thought it was perfectly fine. And I mean, the course is very pretty, but they decided to put a bunch of massive rocks all over the golf course, and my ball was just in those massive rocks on the 4th hole, and chipped out, didn't get out, chipped out again. And walking up to that green was kind of in my mind like, man, I just drove 10 hours, got in at 2 a.m. for this Monday, and like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good all day. I putted really bad the last day in Elk Ridge, and putted bad all day. And I got to 16, and I'm like, well, I'm not making putts, so I need to birdie the last 3, so I just got to hit it close. So I got super aggressive on 16, had 111 in and hold it. And I was like, oh, okay, we're
Really
back in
aggressive,
this thing, I guess now. And then got super lucky on 17. It was a weird hole. I pushed it up way too far. Got lucky. It was still in the fairway by like a yard and made birdie there. And then 18, this par 5, hit hybrid off the tee, hit 9-iron layup and wedged to the green and two putted for par and moved on with the Monday. So
kind of a hole is that?
Yeah,
it was
like
crazy.
Greenhill
It was like
Or Avonlea.
Yeah.
you hit hybrid, which was like the max club you could hit, unless you want to hit for a righty, like a 30-40 yard draw driver to get around the corner over the water, which was like the carry was easy. It was just like trying to find out where to hit it. So it was just a hybrid, and it might have been a little different if I needed to obviously make eagle to get into a playoff or something, but it worked out.
I think looking back at that, you could probably draw off of that mental toughness when you're driving 10 hours. You know it's a Monday qualifier, so you got to go, fairly low. And on the fourth hole, you're absolutely fucked. And it's just like, well, you probably had thoughts of just leaving, but it's like, well, I paid to be here. I should probably at least see the whole course.
Yeah, see the whole course and get my money's worth. Yeah, it was like I was lucky. I was last group out, and I was walking up the 9th hole, and I hit a really good 7-iron to like 15 feet, and I was walking up just to see what the scores were at, and I'm like, oh my god, like 3, 4, 5 under through 9, and I was like, oh, like I hope the back nine's not easy because otherwise I'm screwed. Like I'm not getting through, and kind of like in my mind it was almost like a must make. Like it's gonna be tough to get to. I thought the number was gonna be like 6, so I was like, it's kind of a must make on 9, and then made it, and then bogeyed 11. I was like, oh boy, like, yeah, just get through this. But working a lot with my mental coach lately and like not really caring about the outcome, just really trusting the process of every shot counts and doing really well at that. So I think that helped me a lot because it would have been really easy just to mail that in and be done with it. But even with 3 holes to play, and in my mind, it's like, I didn't want to be in a playoff, but if I get to a playoff, that's great. But if I can birdie the last 3 and not be in a playoff, that's even better. So, it was definitely mentally tough out there. Not a lot of energy in the morning. I knew I was not going to have a good warm up. Like I normally am an hour and a half before the round there. I got there 40 minutes before the round. I just thought sleep was more important that morning than getting a solid warm up in. And so it was a lot going on, but I was obviously happy to get through by the end of it.
Yeah, you talk about the mental toughness involved, but I think from a mental perspective, that every shot means something. You had the 62 at the Saskatchewan Open. You were doing fairly well there. I think it was midday Friday. Your top 15. I think when we were following along, and then I had a couple tough weekends that hurt, but at the same time, like I think it proves to yourself that you're meant to be there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was like today during my round, teed off at 7:20 first off on a Sunday is obviously not where you want to be on a Sunday. And playing in 3 hours and 10 minutes is not really what you want to do on a Sunday, but I was just happy to for like make the cut, and that was like my main thing. But played with the guy who played on the Corn Ferry this year, got reshuffled out and is here now. And we were walking down one hole, and I'm like, hey man, like what's the difference between this tour and the Corn Ferry tour? And he looked at me, he was like, man, like nothing. He was like, top 10 on this tour is top 10 on the Corn Ferry tour. He said like the 50th guy on this tour is not as strong as the 50th guy on the Corn Ferry tour, but like overall it's not much different. And I'm like, hey, like what do you think like PGA Tour cut would have been this week? And it was 7 for us this week. He's like, maybe 8. Like it probably would have got to 8.
Yeah.
And so that kind of just like reiterated like, okay, like this, like not that far off. So that was a nice for these last 2 weeks was like for myself, just like seeing where my game's at and like actually feeling like I can compete out there, where the last 2 years, like I would like to think I could, but like at a realistic standpoint, I was just like ecstatic if I made the cut kind of thing. So that definitely was a nice feeling the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that silver lining you talked about too, about first off on a Sunday, you probably don't get to have that conversation if you're, the last 5 or 10 groups, right? It's just
Mhm.
right place at the right time, finding that silver lining of, okay,
Yeah.
we're both kind of just out here to, finish the tournament, but let's draw some information out of this guy, and it worked to your benefit, right?
Yeah, no, he was super nice about that. Like I just asked him a bunch of questions, and it was like, I mean, he's younger, like 3 years younger than I am, but he's obviously had much more experience. And he was a stud at NC State, and he's won on this tour. He won in Quebec this year, and like really well-rounded player. So it's cool just to hear his perspective on different tours and the difference between the two.
Little question about, I guess, the course that you guys are playing this weekend.
Yeah.
Fairly long, like 73 and change, and the winner ended up what, 20 something?
26.
Yeah.
And that winner, man, he's good. Like he's good. I looked it up. Like, so he's played 8 tournaments now. So he graduated from Baylor in the spring, and he got through PGA Tour U.
Yeah.
He's played 8 tournaments. He's had 7 top 10s, 4 seconds, and now a win. And like, it's insane. Like,
well, and he takes Shipley down too, and Shipley's
he's had a good year.
Yeah,
he's becoming a well-known name, and to take him down too, like head to head, it's just like, this guy's legit.
And like set up this morning, like out there was like, it was very easy. Like this is where they put pins, and like a couple of the par 5s were downwind, and they just put the easiest pins. So like, obviously it was like a low number, like a lot, like I looked at the leaderboard, a lot of low scores out there from like top guys, and like it wasn't surprising. But yeah, I mean, it's insane what he's doing. And Shipley I was walking up 17 on Saturday and look over, and I see like 50 people walking up to the 11th tee. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And all of a sudden I see him walking up, and like, he's obviously people love him and personality, and he's also very, very, very good.
Yep. Yeah. So circling back to, Elk Ridge Open and Elk Ridge as a whole, and Saskatchewan Open playing well there. How do you feel that, from the court, you've seen plenty of courses now. How do you feel that is as a venue for the tour?
I mean, I think it's amazing. Like it's a good mix of, some pretty easy holes, and then also like some hard holes. Like I'm not super familiar with I'm obviously familiar with the 18 holes we play, but you guys would probably know better what side we play. Like we tee off on the right of the 2 from the first tee, but that's only our first hole. And then we hop into the side that is way off to the right, whatever side that's
Aspen.
called.
Yeah.
It starts on Tam.
Yeah, they play Tam 1 and then they play Aspen.
And then go to Aspen. So like 1 Tamarack, like, I mean, pretty easy hole, but then like 2 hard, and then 3 we play as a par 4.
Yeah. The par 5s on Aspen are always 4s.
Both of the par 5s are 4s. And so like that side is tough. Like I was talking to a couple of guys, and they were like, like this is the hardest 9 holes we play all year in like relation to par. And like, even just like watching the cuts so far this year, like I mean, that's gotta be the whatever you say, the lowest or highest cut, I guess, of the year. But what screwed everybody up was like, I think it was the wind. Like just from hearing guys talk, was like not knowing where the wind's going, because it's obviously just so tree lined. And I thought like I kind of had an advantage there. It's like growing up playing Nipawin every year in this tournament, and like knowing that you need to know where the wind's going on the driving range, and then base everything off that, because once you get in those trees, you have no idea.
I play with Canoop up there for that 2-man scramble player cup all the time, and he claims to know where the wind is all the time, but he doesn't even know which way north is in Moose Jaw. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
All you need to know is where the wind is coming from, and you can situate yourself.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
no,
I mean,
no idea either. Our lucky our yardage books tells you what the compass is. The compass in our yardage books.
That's a fantastic lead into talking about how hard the course was, and then now bringing up that you shot 62 there.
I did.
Was your whole game just flicking, or was the putter hot, or one thing hot, or
no,
was it all just
Oh, the putter is never hot, ever, ever.
You just hit it really close that day?
I hit it really close. I think I made bogey, or I made a birdie early, and then I made bogey, and then nothing was great. I birdied 9 to turn it 1 under. Yeah, 1 under.
Yeah.
And then it got hot. But I didn't make anything over 10 feet the whole back 9. I chipped in on 2. I hit like the worst wet shot of my life on the 11th hole, pull hook. Maybe like I looked at my caddy and he's like, "That's the worst wet shot I've ever seen you hit." And I played a lot of golf with this guy, and I hold it, like chipped in. And then after that, it was I stopped everything to close, and but it was just one of those like times, like they kind of say, like you hear people say like, "Oh, like in the zone," and not really thinking. And it was just, like I said earlier, just like sticking to my process. I didn't think about anything. Like I hit it close on 18. I guess I had a 4-footer for 29, and I didn't even know really. Like if I would have thought about it, yes, I knew I shot 29, but I didn't really like think about it till I was playing with Ty Campbell that week, or the first 2 days, and he was like, "Man, that's the first 29 I've ever seen." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Like, that was 29. Like I really didn't know. I was just like so focused on every shot and like my process going through it, and so yeah, that was pretty fun to be able to do that. I wasn't really expecting it, but it was fun to hit a lot of shots close and be able to actually make the 6-footers.
Yeah. And then you're telling us before you get in a scores tent after, like, "Hey, can you sign your ball because it's 29?" And then they snatched it from you.
And they snatched it, yeah. And like looking back, I'm like, it would have been kind of cool to keep that. And I didn't know it was course rec. I think somebody asked that night. I was staying with my buddy and his family out there in the States, and somebody asked like, "Oh, is that course record?" I'm like, "No, like I'm sure in the last 3 years somebody shot a 61 or something." But then we did an interview and they posted it, and that's when I found out. I'm like, "Oh, tied the course record." So that was it was kind of a cool.
That's
cool
nice.
Must be
thing.
nice.
Yeah.
You just got to do what I do with my hole-in-one ball. I lost it, and so now I just have one that I tell everyone was the ball. So you just sign a new ball and just put it in your case. Yeah, that's my 29 ball.
Is that ball a Callaway or?
Pinnacle.
The funny thing is it's just in a drawer. I don't even know what it is.
It's just not on the wall. It's just in a drawer.
It's like, yeah, I have these balls in my drawer. I don't even know what it was. It was in a scramble. Well, it was in a tournament.
Well, that makes it better though.
Yeah. So I got to celebrate with my team. I felt it was hole 7 at Avonlea. And
okay.
It's just like 126 yards or something like that. And it's got like a little bit of a slope up to the cart path.
Oh yeah.
Like I was celebrating, and while I was celebrating, I kind of ran up that hill and fell. So I got grass stains all over my shorts for the rest of it. And then we had then the worst part about it is we had a banquet after, and there was another guy that got a hole in one. He won $10K.
No,
So
no way.
There's 2 hole in ones that tournament. He won $10K. I won a Travis Matthew shorts, a shirt, and
Well, yeah, they put the 10K holes on usually longer holes.
yeah, it was
not
190
longer
yards.
ones.
Yeah, I think it was what's that 4? What's the long par 3 that goes back north? I think it's like
the back 9 has a really long one.
okay, maybe that's
15 or whatever.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it was like 190 yards.
Yeah.
But
Jeez. No, speaking of hole in ones, there's 3 hole in ones at Elk Ridge during that week.
Really?
Insane.
On Birch 8, I
yeah.
think there was 1 or 2 there, wasn't there?
Birch 8, Birch 6.
Yeah.
And wow, whatever you said, Aspen or the right one.
Yeah.
7.
Oh yeah.
That par 4.
The drivable par 4, yeah.
Which is crazy that guys were going for that. I didn't see a single guy going for it, but yeah.
Got that bunker right in the middle in front. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess he went for it the first day, or no, he got the third day. So second day he went for it and hit it to like 5 feet, but like just missed the pin. And then next day he pulled it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
knew where the wind was.
Yeah.
Knew where the wind was and knew what the line, but I mean that's a scary hole to hit driver on.
Yeah.
You miss a left, you're in the trees, you miss a right, it kicks off that mound into the trees. So
yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Kind of like 12 or Riverside. Am I right, Canoe?
Yep. Yep.
You don't like that hole? That's a good hole.
I don't mind that hole,
It
but
fucked them in
Yeah,
qualifying.
in that qualifier, I ended
What'd
up
you get
hitting
off to?
driver because I thought I
Yeah.
needed to make a birdie and
Yeah.
didn't hit it where I should have.
No, it's a driver though.
Yeah.
For sure it is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love that.
Well,
I love that.
Hardwood.
Ours on here.
No, it's always it's a driver.
There is lots of space up there.
There is. And if you get a wedge or an iron and then you have a wedge on a weird lie, the ball can bounce wherever.
Yeah.
There
And
are some
there's-
bad lies in that fairway. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What else you want
What's
to talk
next?
about with Kay?
I don't know. Great question.
We could talk about the small little tidbit that he shared with us before that I know we talked about you're dinged up a little, but not too dinged up to come to the 7th annual Labor Day Classic in Moose Jaw this upcoming weekend. How excited are you to play the Hillcrest?
I am excited. Well, yeah, I'm excited. I'm
Was the
more
last
I'm
time you
excited for the
played?
tournament.
Was the last time you played when I beat you on the front? Was that?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. How you outdrove me on the one hole and didn't hear the end of that.
You talked about it for weeks.
And then I shit myself on 10, 11, 12, like always. Yeah.
Yeah, that course, I don't know, doesn't suit me well. I don't know. I got bad lines on the front end though. Hole 1's the par 5, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was never told to hit it up the left. I hit it up the right, and there was trees.
No, you got to hit it up the right is where you got to hit it. You don't want to go left.
No, he's thinking of 3 maybe.
Or am I thinking of 3?
Oh,
Yeah, 3. You
Yeah.
can't go right.
yeah. You want to be up the
Okay,
left.
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
You're Seward.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it'll be exciting. We got 3-time defending champs that need to be taken down. I'm sure they listen to this. So hopefully,
Yeah, no.
hopefully, I mean, if a pro wins, it might be a little bit of a gray area,
Nope.
but your name's still going on the
Nope.
trophy, bud, if you do.
Nope.
So
No
I'm excited.
asterisk or anything. It's counts just as much as any other win
Yeah.
by
Well,
anyone else.
weather looks
I
good
think
too.
Old Ty played the one year, and he's
Yes,
a
he
pro.
did. Yep.
That's true.
So
They stunk. So you guys got to at least beat their score.
what were they?
6 or 7.
Yeah, he's not good in scrambles.
Who was Ty with that year?
I don't remember.
He had a buddy from
He-
Saskatoon. I
It was
forget.
Cord Ivanko, I think.
Cords, yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but yeah, he said they have a great time. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
So
Well-
obviously had a lot of, well, not a lot of tournament play. What was kind of the craziest? We always ask people, what's the craziest thing you've seen on a golf course? Did you see anything of note this year that was just a little
Weird.
little out there?
Oh, no, not really.
Okay.
Not really. My main story is I told it on here before, like the first time I was on when the guy tried to sell me Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're saying that didn't happen again, which is good.
no, it didn't happen again. Not much. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like now, like in pro golf, like guys are pretty chill, or like nothing really happens. Well, the craziest thing I've seen lately. Do you guys see what happened to Fitzpatrick today?
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna
And
talk about it on the show.
That's absurd.
Yes.
Absurd that his driver was broken, and they're like, "Well, it's not broken enough."
Do you
Yeah.
think that he deliberately hit that one kind of low and shitty hook?
Honestly, I don't think so. But if he did, I would respect the hell out of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
Like,
See,
I
it's broken.
Yeah.
was driving home and I watched it. I'm like, "There's no way that
Yeah.
is a thing. That it's like not broken enough. Like, what does that mean? Not broken enough."
Yeah, it's pretty
But-
wild.
Like, yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, personally, not really anything.
Yeah.
Lately,
You
it's been pretty tame.
Do you find you've kind of had some? I know you know some guys that they're out there playing lots with you and stuff. Have you found kind of that one guy that seems to be around most of the tournaments with you that you guys will go for beers or anything like that, or is it pretty laid back? Everyone does their own thing. You find?
I'm starting to, yeah. Like Roman, Ty, like we do everything together, and
Yeah.
so like those guys. But besides, I got like a few guys. This one guy, Joey, he came second this week. He had a really good week. He DM'd me out of the blue like 2 years ago. We were playing the same Q school in Europe, and he's from Quebec, and we stayed together that week and got along really well. So now I see them every week. But a lot of guys I played junior golf with, and like we were never ever like close in any way. But now that kind of out here, like maybe you just get a little older, and you're not with your team or your parents out there, and kind of rely on each other. So starting to be more, but like what I realized, like this tour, it's such like in a way like a boys club, like kind of everybody knows everybody, right? You play same guys, and it's not like the PGA Tour where guys play whatever 70% of the tournaments, and a lot of guys are every week's like a different field. This week it's like small schedule, every guy's out there every week, and so everybody knows each other. And then especially from college, and it's such like a young group of guys. This PGA Tour now is guys coming straight out of college, getting status, which I think is great for them. And it's gives college golf a little bit more of a, not that there was no determination before, but a little bit more of like, especially their senior year, like to play really well. So I think it's kind of like a boys club out there, which is awesome. And it'd be pretty cool like to be out there every week. And even like these last 2 weeks, like playing with the guys I played with in Elk Ridge, and seeing them on Tuesday, and they knew I was going for the Monday, and very supportive of like that I got through, and excited to see me out there. And all the staff, like the staff are the same as the players, like they go every week, and kind of thing. So it's a very like close knit out there, and which is like cool to see. And it'd be hopefully one of these years play out there full time, and be more a part of that. But it's awesome out there.
That's cool.
Right on. Great.
You guys got anything else?
No,
I got one more thing. So
Sure.
you're working on your putting, you're saying, because your putting's not so good?
I will be, yeah.
Well, you will be. So give me your best putting drill.
I got a good one. How to describe it? You hold your putter, and then you put alignment rods like that, kind of, and then you put them under your arms, and then like they diagonal across your putter, and then you hold them or they go on top of your forearm. It's a bad description, but and anyway, it like makes your body work like totally together with the putter, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Might not. My coach and I were kind of working on it, and it just like makes everything move together. But like with putting, I played with a guy on Saturday, and he was probably best putter I've ever played with. And just like I like to do it a lot out there. Like I'll watch some guys like what they do. Like my strength is my ball striking, and so I don't like pay attention like hitting tee shots or anything like that. But like around the greens, like I'll watch and like certain shots, like just to learn from them. But this guy putting, like I was like, man, like this guy putts it nice. And what I noticed from him is like he was so like cautious, or making sure you got like to a really good setup every time.
Yeah.
Even if it was a 1-footer, he was like doing his routine, and he had like this, he was putting, and then he turned his like palm down, and probably for shoulder alignment, but he was making sure he was in perfect setup every single time. And he was like a phenomenal putter. And I think that's something I kind of struggle with, is setup changes like slightly. My good buddy, Canupa, Matt Procession.
Yep.
He's, well, before this week, I've always said he's the best putter I've ever seen. And we've talked a lot about it. Like, he's like, for me, it's like, just like, I'm fine everywhere else, but on the green. And for him, it's like, just get me off the fairway of the tee and get me on the green. And he makes everything. And I was at his house a couple of years ago, and we were having drinks or whatever, and, getting the conversation about golf game and like what's wrong. And talking with my putting, he's like, hey, let's go downstairs. And I hit like 5 putts. And he's like, well, Kate, you set up different every single time. And I'm like, yeah, Matt, that's because I'm drunk. He's like, no, but like I've seen you play, and you set up different every time. So like, try to be like a lot more better about that. And like, even if you like, sometimes like whenever they have live from the range, or like, they're showing guys pre-round, and like everybody's using mirrors and their tools to start the ball in line. I think just setup's like so important. Like when you set up the same time every time, like the stroke is so short that nothing should go like majorly wrong unless you have like major demons going on. So if you can set up like right every time, I think that's the biggest thing for putting.
I think that's such a good thought for a lot of amateur golfers, and not even with putting, right? You go out on the golf course and you're going to hit golf balls. You're probably not setting up the exact same time. You're going to go hit a driver,
definitely not.
and something's off, right? Get something consistent so you can actually have something repeatable. I know how many times I've played with you. You're changing something every single hole.
I know.
I'm like, okay, well, like no shit.
Got to make adjustments when you stink.
Exactly why there's no consistency.
Yeah. No, I think it just comes down to like you got to control what you can control. Yeah. And like if your club drops a little bit too much at the top, that's just, I mean, it's really hard to control. Like it'll happen. Like you're going to make a bad thing. But if you can set up perfect every time, if you can, do like the things you can control really well, then if you make a bad swing, well, it's golf. Like you're going to hit bad shots. But like if you just do what you can do really well, I think that's really the most important thing. I think that's for any level. Like, trusting what you're doing and picking the right clubs, and and if you hit a bad shot, you hit a bad shot. Yeah. Everybody does.
That's right.
I can control not booking tee times in the morning where I can't putt in the morning, so I can definitely control that.
Greens are too good.
Yeah, greens are too good.
Yeah. I like that. That's a good spot to end. With a really good tip, and Bronell can take that with him home tonight.
Might win the club championship.
There you go. Yeah, buy a mirror and just make sure your setup's good and you're good.
Yeah.
And then speed. And then speed. Then all you gotta focus on is speed after that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Kade, thanks for joining us. We're very excited for you to come here this upcoming weekend, which would be nice to chat with you a little bit more off the record too. So appreciate you hopping on, and hopefully things go well in Q School.
Yes, thank you very much for having me.
You bet. Big thanks to Kade Johnson for joining us. Great interview. Great to have him on again, and very excited for him to come this week. Get to see him fresh off of a couple really good tournament showings. So we'll see what it's like to watch, a solid pro golfer in the flesh again.
How long has he been rocking that Muzzy for?
I don't know. I meant to bring it up but I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable.
It's getting full.
Looks not bad.
That's nice.
Will he shave it before Saturday?
No chance.
Good. But thanks, Kade. All right, let's talk a little bit of the smallest world around the world we've ever done.
There was a Corn Ferry Tour event that a no-name won, so we don't even talk about it. We don't have to force.
He's not a no-name now.
Well, he's not a no-name now. We don't have to force talk about stuff that's not important. Stuart Sink won on the Champions Tour this week.
There you go.
Oh, good for him.
Took off his hat.
Mike Weir was third, so that's kind of a big deal, I guess.
Yep.
And then obviously the major on the LPGA.
So Lydia Ko, Nelly Korda doubles the par 5 13th, I think it was. She was in the lead at the time, doubles, and then makes another bogey down the stretch to finish 2 back. Lydia Ko has just classic Lydia Ko steady Eddie round, steady Eddie tournament to win another major. So she went into the Hall of Fame, won a gold medal and a major all in the same year.
That's nuts.
And she still didn't have the best year.
Yeah. Like that.
It's kind of a Xander versus Scotty debate almost.
It's pretty damn close.
Because when Nelly and Scotty were both doing their craziness at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And then Xander and Lydia both did their, maybe mine's better at the same time almost. But, I mean, to go into the Hall of Fame and hit that metric and then win a gold medal and then win the Open. Yeah. Like that's a hot streak.
Yeah. Again, camping. I didn't get to watch lots of it, but I did get to read a bunch of Twitter comments and about what was going on. It looked like the weather was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
You had a bunch of top girls kind of right in it at the end, and I wish I could have watched that tournament because it would have been a fantastic one to see.
It is.
What happened to Lilia Vu on the last hole? Because she hit the road on 18, and she was like right down there, and she just needed a birdie to tie, and she ended up making bogey. I see. I had to leave my house, but I don't know how she could have made bogey from there. She was 30 yards from the green.
I did not watch the end.
Tried to putt it, come back to her feet. I don't know.
I don't know.
But. I will say though, from a Nelly Korda perspective, it's like for as good as she is, like she's making the news for all these high numbers.
Yeah.
like the 10 she made at the U.S. Open, in the Olympics where she's making triples. Like she had 3 triples in the Olympics or whatever.
Yeah, she
like,
limits
how
all
is
that
she-
stuff. And
Yeah. She's when she
Sky's the
doesn't
limit.
make triples and
That's right.
6 tuples.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
Like if we're comparing the 2 dominant players on the tours, like Scotty doesn't. When he doesn't do well, it's because he made too many pars.
Yeah.
Like he's not blowing up like she is.
I mean, he kind of blew up this week though. Not on the court, not like numbers wise, but he was mad that one hole.
Yeah, like very mad.
He thought it was an upslope or something.
yeah,
Well,
I
in the
just saw
bunker
it
last
today.
week. Don't
Yeah.
forget the bunker last week.
Like his approach shot didn't grab. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, it's supposed to be an upslope, and he was all mad. I think he swore too.
What?
Yeah, he did.
Wow. Don't let him see.
But yeah, good win for her. And 2 more wardrobe related items. Did you? I got Minji Lee pulled up here. Literally wore a referee jersey to a golf tournament.
Do you think if you
That's what it is. Look it up. It's what it is.
So my thought is like ignorance. Do you think because yeah, I saw it. Do you think because she plays in a sport that doesn't have a referee in it, she's completely oblivious to what a referee actually is or wears?
Maybe.
Nah,
I don't know.
Like
You can't.
not only that, but her sponsor. Like you don't really have to blame her. She would that was probably in her locker.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Here,
like,
you gotta wear
why
these this week.
do you think sponsors like some of those early on Lindeberg Hovland outfits?
Oh yeah.
Do you think they just are like, let's see what we can get away with?
Yeah.
Let's see what these people will actually put on their bodies.
It's all click stuff, right? Like it's all,
Well, that comes into the whole J Day video
Yes,
that the PGA Tour
that was my next point.
went into.
That was unreal. If you haven't seen that tweet, go look at that. I mean, it's him basically reading
Mean
people's
tweets.
comments about his wardrobe.
Yeah, about Malbon. But at the same time, like, if you're wearing that, and I see you're wearing that, I'm laughing at it, but I'm not looking up who made it. Although I just did say Lindbergh. I know the name. What is it, Jay Lindbergh?
Jay Lindbergh.
Yeah. So it's like, I know that name, but I'm never buying stuff from there.
No.
So sometimes brand awareness is brand awareness. But
But if it brings up the conversation, then that's all they care.
yeah, but
Jerry
same with
Seinfeld's puffy shirt.
Yeah,
There's a-
but
there's a conversation
I
about it.
get it.
People were
but
probably buying puffy shirts.
people ain't. I don't know how many people are buying Malbon golf stuff. Because
I want to.
You want some gray khaki or tan khakis?
Well, that's
Baggy
Adam Scott.
pants.
Well, yeah, that I do. Yeah.
No, because Jason Days wore big baggy.
Yeah,
the
those
blue
ones,
ones
yeah.
he wears lots, but he's wore gray
Yeah.
tan ones.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I guess for the clicks.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else you got in there?
Well, we'll just finish off with some President's Cup talk, I guess.
Yeah. So
I mean,
who
that's
are the
what,
6?
4 weeks away here?
4 weeks away. We're there.
That's crazy.
We're there in 4 weeks. It's gonna be awesome. The first 6, we'll start with the international team. We got Kim, Im, Matsuyama, Scott, Day, and Ben On. Yeah. So
you'd think Connors would be pretty much a lock for that team.
I think so.
Connors
Pendrith,
is
I
there.
think, should make the
I
team.
think Pendrith's there. Well, he was out in the last one, so that
long as he has
helps
a-
the cause.
Yeah, I don't want to say as long as he has a good week this week, but I think if he does have one, he'll
He's
be a
played
lock for
very
sure.
well since
Yeah.
his win this year.
Yeah.
I think if he wasn't on the last team, it might be a little bit more of a conversation. But the fact that he was on the last one, I think he has to be there.
Yeah, you're
I
probably
think
right.
you have to have those as your 2 Canadians, and then if you Hughes is in over Taylor because Taylor has not played well lately.
Yeah.
If you had a third one, but I think it's only those 2.
I don't
And
know
what was
if
what was
Taylor's making
Hughes'
it.
stat?
I don't think
he
Taylor-
led strokes around the green. Is
Yeah,
that what it
That's
was?
Hughes.
Yeah.
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 So
But that's
I-
what we're
and
saying.
I don't
is
know-
Taylor's
Yeah.
out. It might be. I think Pendrith and Connors are on that team.
Yeah.
And it might be Hughes.
Yeah, because I don't know enough about that golf course, and like how valuable that around the green stat ends up being. But
Mhm.
maybe it's something for them to
Yeah.
peek at.
If
And
it
I
is.
mean, you got to bring up the live, I guess, but it'd be nice for them to have Neiman and Cam Smith. But at the same
Yeah.
time, if that's allowed, then the U.S. has Bryson. So kind of a wash there, I
Yeah.
would say.
and Brooks.
and Brooks. So
Yeah.
that might be a 2-for-2 wash.
Probably is 2-for-2 wash. Yeah.
So looking at the standings, it is Taylor in 11th currently. Hadwin is 12th. Pendrith is 13th. And then Hughes is 15th.
Talk, that's
If you're
crazy.
looking at that.
They're all right
So-
there. Hey,
Oh, but I don't think you can take Hughes or Hadwin over Pendrith.
No, I agree.
Even
No.
if those are what the standings, because those standings are the 2-year rolling standings, right?
Yes.
So Pendrith's year puts him on the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I could actually get behind Hadwin.
but there's
over
not that
Hughes.
many other. There's not
A
that many
little
other
bit.
players. Like
I don't
Min Woo
know.
Lee is going to make the team, but who
Yeah.
else is there?
Bezaden Hoot will make the team.
Yeah, I guess so.
So that's 2, and you got
Rio?
four Canadians.
Cam Davis is 9th.
Rio,
Oh.
can he make it?
Yeah, Cam Davis is on that team.
EVR.
Yeah, I don't
Nah,
know.
I don't think so.
know, man.
So it's probably
Well, you can't
Cam
go down
Davis.
further than that.
yeah. So it's Cam Davis, Minwoo Lee, and maybe Bez, and then you got 3 Canadians to pick. That's it.
That's probably what it is. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
don't know. EVR might make it.
that stinks. Having
EVR Grill.
it stinks for Taylor and Hadwin though, probably because I think Hughes is probably going to make it over those two.
Because this will be his 3rd one, 3rd or 4th even.
Yeah.
But Hadwin's been there 3
I'd
times.
like to see Hadwin there.
Yeah,
but-
I think he's a good experienced guy.
Mhm.
And then you also don't know the back dealings, similar to what happened last year with Zach Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, who does Mike Weir like?
Yeah,
Like for the Canadians, like he might leave Pendrith off because he doesn't know him well enough, and take Hadwin, Hughes, and Connors.
yeah,
So,
right.
but I do think that Pendrith being on the last team, Weir being an assistant captain, he knows him enough.
Yeah.
So, and then the U.S., we got the big 6.
Cantlay, Morikawa, Scheffler, Schauffele, Clark, and Thigala actually are the 6.
And
So
then
then
who's
next 7 are Sam Burns, Finau, Henley, Bradley, Harmon, Homa are the next 6.
I like international chances if they
That
take those.
next 6 ain't great.
No, that's what I mean.
But even the next 5 after that, you have Chris Kirk, Akshay, Eric Cole, Denny McCarthy, Billy Horschel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right? Like,
They're-
who's playing well out of that?
Yeah.
Bhatia had a bad week
Yeah.
last week and this week. Like,
Now their
It's
top
crazy
6
though.
are better than our
it's
top
crazy
6.
though that you take out Brooks, Bryson, and DJ when he was good, and
It
you're
waters
looking
him down a
you're,
bit.
you're looking at almost a
Wow.
P. Reed, someone that, well, no, like not
well,
lately, but
from
I know.
a perspective,
right, like
I know.
a Captain America guy.
Yeah.
Right. Like
it
that's
is hilarious how bad he is now.
Yeah.
that guy is off the face of the earth now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're talking
Which I
about
love.
we're talking about the next 6.
Mm,
The
Yeah.
first 6 are a problem.
yes.
Yeah, well,
Well,
Clark's starting to figure it out, which
is a problem.
is a problem. And yeah,
So
I mean-
our second 6 is better. Their top 6 is better, which
Yeah.
kind of means I think 12 on 12. It could be pretty damn close.
you got to think Burns and Finau are locks, and then
Keegan's a lock.
Harmon's 17th in the world. You might pretty much have to take him. And Keegan's a lock, so there's 4 locks. Then you get down to Homa. Who else is there? Cam
Homa,
Young.
Chris Kirk.
Cam Young.
And
Bad
they
for
announce
him.
this team next Monday or
Cam
tomorrow.
Young is 21st.
Is this team tomorrow or next Monday?
It'll be
Next Monday.
Yeah.
The Labor Day recap.
yeah, but you're
episode.
looking at standings. Like Cam Young's
2
still
year.
30th in the world.
Yeah. But same idea, right? 2-year rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
What about
Oh.
JT?
19th?
The
There's no way he makes it. Can't.
And Spieth's hurt.
a
Yeah,
key
so he's
cog,
out.
key cog in this whole thing is the fact that you'll love this, Bronell. It's in Montreal, so there's some severe home field advantage coming our way. Like this is the French we're talking. Those crazies will
Yeah.
be where there'll be so many ole going on.
The worst part about it is that the Americans have the Hab colors and the internationals have Bruins colors.
It's going to be a problem.
That
It's going to be a
stinks.
hurdle for a lot of people in Montreal for sure.
How are they going to wear
They're
I
not
didn't
gonna
even
buy
fuck-
anything.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
They're not
When I
buying
sent you
anything.
that sweater,
Yeah.
I thought it was just playing off Bruins and Habs. But no.
But it's reversed. though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a mental hurdle. That's
They
a
probably
problem.
don't. They don't own anything black and yellow.
They're
There's
going to
no
have
way.
to buy something black and yellow and immediately sell it.
They'll just buy a Steelers jersey or something.
Speaking of making myself puke,
Yeah.
When are you going to give me that $40K?
I've got a lot of my Monopoly money at home.
Yeah. The bet was $40K if Field starts week 1.
If Russ starts I have Russ. He has
Yeah.
Fields.
Yeah.
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 It's Russ.
Yeah. For at least
Still early.
And I think when you
Still
made that bet,
early.
I said if you make it week 3, it comes way down to like 10K. But Fields is starting by week 3 or 4.
He's not that good either. They both stink.
That's exactly the point.
At least Fields can run around and do something.
Yeah. Wilson can a little bit still.
'Kay.
You got a preview for the finale or
No, that's
Xander's
good.
going to win. It's all everybody knows.
It's
It's
at
well,
East Lake, and he's
it is-
playing very well.
It's redesigned, so we don't know.
Oh.
Right, and this is the first time that they've come back to it since it's been blown up. So
Mm.
we'll see.
So
But it is
Scheffler's got a
definitely
2-stroke lead on Xander.
Yep.
It's probably
Yep.
going to be between those two.
Yeah, it'll be those two for sure. So,
But Scotty was pretty bad this week, so you never know.
yep, Labor Day week.
Yep.
This
We got
time
stuff
next
to
week
do.
we'll be doing our recap, and yeah, we got lots of stuff to do. Thanks to Kate for hopping on the show. We'll see you this weekend. But until next week, it's time for us to hit the clubhouse.